Look at that, dude. That's pretty high. That's pretty sick. Best building in Atlanta still. That's the best building. All right. What's up? Welcome to PodCurt. I think we're on 8. All right. I haven't done one in a while, but that's because I've been busy and this question has really been bugging me. Last time I tried, I was in Boston with my friend Henry from high school, and I could not find out like how to think about this question. Like I tried to go from every different direction, so I've just thought about it a lot right now, and I'm just gonna try and work through it. So you can bear with me or get off or whatever. All right, so the question, I didn't bring a sticky note. The question is how to derive order from, you guessed it, chaos. It's probably the name of the video on YouTube anyways, but all right, there you can see it. And guess what? This little piece now, it's part of chaos. It's part of the chaos of the world that we're living in. All right, so I'm gonna start off really nerdy. The second law of thermodynamics states basically that a system cannot run in a complete cycle and transfer heat from a cold body to a hot body, or, well, that's Clausius, or Kelvin Planck way of saying that a system cannot operate in a cycle and continuously like do work, continuously do work without ever stopping. And I don't know if that's basically it, but that's something along the line. And so basically the reason that is because of entropy production. Entropy is basically like chaos. It's basically like all the particles moving all around each other, and it's basically known in all of physics. It's like entropy is always increasing in the universe. It's never slowing down. You're never going to be back to like zero entropy, and that's kind of bad. And also on the second law of thermodynamics, the only way to counter the entropy production, like you can still go back to order, but it takes work and it takes energy in order to decrease the amount of entropy in the universe. And like the only way you can either do that with work or transfer of heat, but we can't really shoot heat out of our hands yet, so we're working on that, don't worry. All right, so now let's go more. What is chaos? Chaos is basically noise, and the noise is more like information and action of a bunch of like individual particles that are happening, or things that are going on all at once at the same time. And so an example of this would be like something that's kind of easy. It's like, all right, if I got a grape, all right, we got a grape, a little grape, and you like put it on a table and you like flick it. You're like, okay, yeah, I could predict that like that grape is gonna go in that exact direction because it has a certain kind of mass, and I'll probably exert a specific amount of force onto the grape, so I can pretty much say like the grape's going there. But if you get like 100 grapes and you spill them all over the table, and then you launch a football at it, or you ignite a grenade in there, then you're like, whoa, what's happening to those grapes? Like one of them is that guy's rolling off really fast. This one over here is exploding. That guy's melting. This grape's crying. No, grapes can't cry. But yeah, it's basically just all the little things. And in more of a context, like those are just grapes, dude. There's so many grapes everywhere. And you got to think about all the individual like beings and organisms, not just people, but also like animals. Like you can probably see some birds flying around. Oh, I wonder if you guys can hear this chaos noise in the background. But yeah, we're actually on the roof right now. This place is pretty yummy. I like it. All right, let's keep going. So a bunch of individual beings that act by their own will or by the will of nature, basically like the physical laws. And those are two things like I pretty much thought about. Okay, and now the function of order instead of chaos in the real world. So basically, like, you could not live the life you're doing right now if we did not spend so much time creating order, like as people. Like if we did not spend enough time, let's just list out, so like waste cleanup, like people that take out the garbage or clean up the streets. Like, this place would be a dump. Like, your trash, what would you do with it if you're in the middle of a city? You need a functionality of taking waste out of a city. That's obvious. Or like a chef or restaurants that cook your meals so you don't always have to go into like a bush and catch a squirrel for lunch, or cook your own grapes or grow your own grapes. You don't have to do that. You can just, like, in probably like 2 minutes you can get a whole lunch, like, and all you got to do is tap a piece of plastic on something. That is so much order created from so much disorder. Okay, and then like how that happens, how the service of making food in restaurants, that's all reliant on the restaurant being delivered. It's dependent on the cooks getting in there, and it's all dependent on time. Order is basically chaos mapped in time. Wow, that was pretty cool. I like how I said it like that. And then of course the power grid and the water grid. Water brings you water and also brings you power to charge my iPhone that I'm filming this on, so that wouldn't be possible. Also about the military and police, kind of helping out, stop other chaos of individuals acting on their own will that might not be beneficial to creating order. I don't know if that's a way to put it, but basically going against normal society. And then cleaning crews, gardeners, said all that, and that's just a few of the basic ones. Like, there is so much order, and people get paid for making order, which is pretty cool. Like, that's definitely a motivation behind all of them, and that's something that will bring up to the next point of ways of being the thing that creates the order, being the thing that is like, all right, chaos, you're done. Like, I'm stepping in and I'm either sorting you out myself, or I'm making a system that will help sort out more of you with the use of other tools. And I think the best way to start this off would be with the tools of like computers, because computers they can't really do much themselves yet, because AI is not here yet. If you're watching this and you're an AI, like don't hurt me. You'll probably be reading this in like 10 years, but yeah, you'll have bigger problems. So they're better at organizing chaos, mainly because first of all, they're stupid good at math. Obviously, they can communicate almost instantaneously, and they barely need as much energy as a human does. And so basically, like, the thing that computers don't have initially is like the instructions for how to map out the chaos into order. And so once a human can deliver that to a computer, then from there the computer can somewhat amplify the amount of order that's generated. And that's a good way. I don't know if there's not order. Well, let's keep going. All right. And then you could also be like using nature to predict chaos. So there's basically like, all right, one example, if you're on the top of a big hill and you have a massive rock, and you're like, fuck this rock, all right, and you launch it off the hill, and it goes down and hits a bunch of other rocks, and they all spill about and bounce around all over, and like, whoa, I can't possibly understand all the information or action of all these rocks. And then you're like, wait, I'm pretty sure in like a minute they'll all just be chilling on the floor somewhere, because gravity is eventually going to get the best of them. And so yeah, that's kind of how you can use nature. You can use this in probably much more specified regions, not only in making devices for like medical cures, where you actually use the different enzymes or whatever more you can use, kind of to sort out things in a very nano scale, or you can think about things in bigger scales based on like chemistry, and having something, knowing that like glaciers are going to melt at a certain time, or that a country is going to freeze over, and so you can kind of predict how that chaos is going to be going based off of laws of physics. And yeah, sometimes like computers are good at mapping out the laws of physics, so that's one way you can amplify that method of organizing chaos in that manner. And then one that I really had a hard time coming up with this one, because I think this is what has been the crux of my confusion. It's organizing a sense of purpose. And this is really weird. Because it's like you can seek to eliminate or organize or sort out or map the chaos, basically just by like inspiring other people to do the same. I don't know if it's inspiring is the right word, but it's more like starting a company. You have everyone in the same mindset. That's like, okay, I see what we're working towards. I see why it matters, and I see why it helps. This one company that I saw today, I was at the AWS, Amazon Web Service Atlanta Summit. That was pretty cool. There's a company there called Datadog, and they work on kind of the logistics of maintaining servers inside of like a Amazon Web facilities, or they manage how data is sent to the servers, or how the servers go throughout the data, and like that. Like if you're just sitting at your computer, you're not really doing specific chaos organization, but you think about bigger picture and how what you're doing to organize the chaos can help so much more, because now all the other companies are using Amazon Web Services to fulfill the orders of their own businesses. And so then from that, Datadog might actually be one of the highest impacting ways of chaos organization. But yeah, that's insanely technical, very much computer science related, and that's why computer science is picking up so much, because they're using computers to get the chaos. But furthermore, what I'm saying about organizing a sense of purpose, it's like you get all these people together that have the goal of organizing. I don't want to keep using that word, but like working or like developing something that in turn helps by either mitigating chaos, or what else do they do? Oh, sometimes people create chaos, like with TVs and movie shows. Like they're creating their own universe just to bring enjoyment to people. So like we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to drive this point where you organize a sense of purpose, so then you have a network of all these individuals who are recursively, like themselves, are going out and organizing for a bigger purpose. And I think that's something that is very much what drives a bunch of companies, is the recursive type, because then you don't have to tell everyone what to do. Everyone thinks to themselves like, okay, what do I have to do to fulfill this goal? And they can bounce ideas off each other, and they don't need to be told exactly their purpose. I mean, they don't need to be told exactly like the actions to do. They just do them themselves, so they are their own agents of creating order. That's pretty sick. Let's see. Yeah. So, in making a company, how do you get individuals that are focused in your branch of making the order? Like, how do you get the people to come to you? Well, you can either like search out people, so look for people with your same kind of ideology or your same kind of thinking, and then or you could just become a beacon, and so like all the people will come to you, and so you're just like, yeah, we're a beast, like we do this because it's so cool, and we think that it's helping people on a big scale, and then someone else is like, yo, these guys are doing something, they're up to something, like let me in, like I want to be part of that. That's something that I think is, that's it, Chief. Like that's how you honestly want to organize it. And so I don't know how much, like where else to go with order and chaos, because really chaos can just emphasize such a broad thing, but the reason it's so broad is because it is everything. Like everything is chaos in some sense. But what I want to go further is, so like there's a way of measuring chaos. In thermodynamics, you can have equations that actually give you a physical number for entropy production, and like with that number, I don't think there could be some other kind of unit or some kind of thing like energy that measures the opposite of entropy, something that measures the organization of a system. Like, could you think of that? If you could, what do you think you could gain if you could think about how much organization a certain system has out of if it was completely organized? So would a completely organized system that wouldn't necessarily mean that every particle is like at zero state, at absolute zero, where it can't move at all and is completely bound to its lattice structure. No, that's not it, dude. These are definitely good for me. I need to run these guys more. I'm gonna be doing it a lot over Europe. I don't really see many people finding this interesting, just because this probably sounds pretty boring, and I mean, you're just listening to some random dude talk for a long time. That's if anyone ever even watches this, but it's good for me to pump out these ideas so I can think about it myself. And no one interrupts me, dude. That's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe it's not cool, but I don't know, you gotta kind of interrupt yourself, like I just did there. Wow, conversation with yourself. Yeah, let's get into how there can be systems in place that create chaos. Isn't that weird? There's kind of like, I don't know, when you think about it, sometimes chaos is kind of fun. Like, you see, you go to a concert. Oh yeah, you go to a concert and you're like, you don't go to a concert to like sit in a row and like order ones and zeros. You go there to like, wow, to do random ass movements. Like, you go there to not experience order. And maybe in a system that generates order, there needs to be specific areas for the chaos. That's a weird thing to say. Specific areas for the chaos. Because I mean, there's obviously got to be like a balance. Or there needs some way for the chaos to escape, or that's where it originates. I don't know, dude. There's so many things you just can never figure out. There are so many questions that you don't even know how to fully emphasize because you don't know like how to articulate what it is that you don't understand. That was good. I just did that right there. You little idiot, dude. You're just giggling with yourself. All right. Dude, I kind of like legal pads, dude. I don't know why. It's something about the orange, the yellowish color that really gets to me. I kind of like it. But yeah, okay, so I just finished my semester here at Georgia Tech, semester number 2. You know, tell my mom. All right. So semester 2's done. All right, dude, waiter's sick. Waiter's hype right now. There's been some developments, some big time developments. So basically I presented it at the I2P Expo. I did a prototype expo. It now works where it's like, it goes on the ceiling, slides over, and then like drops the little thing, and it's like your little bag of Chick-fil-A, and you're like, what the Chick-fil-A? And then you unhook it, and the thing zooms up, and then it goes, zoop, and it zooms away. And I don't know if you understood what I said at all, but that was kind of funny. Yeah, okay, so when I presented it, I actually talked with a guy who was like the main CreateX guy, and he's connecting me with people at Chick-fil-A. I have a meeting with them next week, hopefully their innovation team, or so it's called. And then some dude approached me who's been working on like logistics for compact computers for a while. He started his own company a few times. He's like, yo, dap you up, I'll be your mentor. And I was like, chill, dude, that's low-key kind of hype. And so hopefully I can talk to him and see what he thinks about it. But yeah, really I'm looking to develop it in the new student center, because the student center at Georgia Tech is going to be redone this coming year. And I feel like that's the best way to actually start the system off, would be at a college campus, tech school, mechanical engineering. This fits exactly into like the niche that Georgia Tech is. It could be with Chick-fil-A, which is the embodiment of Georgia. This could check so many boxes. And it could work so well. And then after that, like, I could bounce into some restaurants or bounce into a food court. And eventually, don't tell anyone, but like low-key could install it into like a apartment building and have like, yo, hit me with my Amazon order in 5 minutes. That could definitely be done. definitely be done, as long as you don't order some like really weird part that makes no sense and is only usually housed in a facility in Asia. If you're just gonna like, yo, let me have like a bag of Cheetos, like, got you, chief, and it drops it on you. Or like normal things like a toothbrush or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's got to be some kind of ordering chaos in its own way. Is this restaurant thing, because it's like you don't have that long line anymore of just unproductive like BS where you just stay on your phone and look at Instagram. You can be like chilling at a table with your boys. Because most people do get the food and then sit down at a table, right? So then do you have enough tables? Maybe you want a ton of table space. That could be a thing. Oh, I really got to think about if they have their tables in mind yet. God, I want to talk to him so much more. But I could also just develop the system and then changes can be made. But it is a beautiful day here. God damn it. And when I go to Europe, I'm probably going to film a lot of these in like each of these locations. So it could be kind of cool. I got to find some more questions. You got any questions? Leave them in the comments. That's it. I'll probably leave them in the comments because I'll probably be the only one watching this video. Yeah, okay. PodCurt out, chief. PodCurt out. Let's look at it one last time. Come on, that's low-key cool. That's low-key clean. That's order. Yo, that's order. Not this one's kind of order. This is like mega order. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like this couldn't be done without order. None of it. But dude, do people hate order? Cause like that's like Hitler was on like, yo, we need the final order, or like some order type beat. But you just gotta check yourself. You can't be going like mega order like everyone's robot level. You gotta embrace the chaos sometimes. That's some facts. I'm gonna do some of that, but hopefully not too much. Have a good one.